DJ Domain. You know how we do.
Get live, baby. I always wanted to say that.
And now, prepare yourself for DJ Domain.
Well, now, welcome to another edition of Live and Direct. I am your host, DJ Domain, and I am honored and privileged to be in the home of another Dallas DJ legend. Preferably from the West Coast, but he's been a legend here also. And before we even start up, dude, you were a big influence on me when I moved here in '85, because I did a interview with DJ Snake of Nemesis a year ago.
Okay.
And I told him that you were the first DJ that I've listened to since I moved down here. I was like, who is Dr. Rock? Who is Dr. Rock? And
nobody.
and we're gonna go back. We're gonna talk a little bit about that.
Right.
But without further ado, please welcome the legendary Dr. Rock.
What's happening, baby?
All right.
All right.
First of all, thanks for letting us come into your home.
Okay. Yeah, no worries, man.
And like I said before, nothing is out of bounds. Say what you feel, speak your mind.
All right,
'Cause I know that's what you do.
Yeah, I do. I do that.
All right. Well, when we before we get into anything, would you let everybody know who you are? If for those that don't know who you are and who you were and what you've done.
That's a long laundry list, man.
Well, hey, we got enough time, so.
I got you. Dr. Rock, originally from Compton, California, born and raised. Started out with some of the what you guys will find out is some of the biggest groups in the world. Was the biggest groups in the world. Worked with a lot of people. Did a lot of things between Los Angeles and Dallas, man. When I got here, I mean, the list is pretty long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but the most famous stuff, of course, is NWA and the Feel Fresh crew, along with the DOC. Those are probably, and the World Class Wrecking Crew. I mean, yeah, those are probably the biggest ones. But I've done work on other people's stuff too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's fast forward to now.
Okay.
I know you had a great career.
Yeah.
Back, from then until now. Won't you let everyone know what you're doing now?
Well, after I got out of radio in 2007, from 1995 to 2007, I worked for the Tom Joyner Morning Show as executive producer. Helped grow that company to what it was. And I thought to myself, all my life I've been making other people millionaires. I said, it's about time I make myself one. So I had a passion for another type of business, and I felt like I had a good run in radio and television and records. So I, went to what I call civilian life.
Okay.
I now own a mortgage company, and it was pretty rough in the beginning because you're starting a business and you work for other people in order to learn, and so that's what I did. I worked for some other people in order to learn to where I got now, and I franchised this business. So it's doing pretty good. It's doing pretty good. And,
well, can you give us some details about that? Right quick?
Well, it's without saying the name, I'll never say the name because be honest, when they find out black people own it, they don't give the respect that they normally do. But it's a multi-million-dollar business. We do about an average of somewhere between $5 and $10 million a month.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a long way from where we started. We were doing like $40,000 a month. But we buy and sell. But what it is somebody want to buy a home, they call me. I broker with the different banks. I give them the loan through my company, and then I sell their loan to the Wells Fargos and to the Chases and to different major banks. So we just sell them back the loan, and then they sell the loan on the open market. So I make a percentage on the loan that's being sold.
Okay.
So I get them ready, and I do them under what they call a warehouse line, which is my warehouse line that I get from the banks. So then I turn around and I do that, and it's pretty cool. It's a lucrative business. It's very good.
Well, that's good. Well, much continued success on that.
I'm trying.
And congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And I'm pretty sure people want to know what you do, and you know, because there's a whole bunch of people out there trying to find a home and
Well,
want to buy
man,
a home.
call me. I'll
Okay.
take care of it. Yeah, anything in the state of Texas, man, I can take care of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just so y'all know.
Yeah, I take pride in it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you do, and we need more people like you out here.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I try not to turn anybody down, even when they got challenge credit. We just find a way to fix it. And in that case, sometimes more than sometimes, we get to educate them about their credit and how important credit is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially when you try to purchase a home, it is very important. Your credit is everything. It's more so than the money you got in the bank. So, you know, there's ways to make things fit. So we have a couple of things in place where we help you. You know, we just don't say go away. I said, come on back, let me help you, because at the end of the day, I mean, we're all fam. You know what I'm saying? I love helping my people. We're all fam. So I can truly say that I am blessed enough to have in these years get some really great people homes that generally they wouldn't have gotten them.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and I look back and over this course of it's been 2014, it's 8 years, almost 9 years. I have not had one person get foreclosed upon that I've helped.
Wow.
Not one. I've not got one back yet. The beautiful thing about it is, you know, when you come to my company, we really, really generally are like a big family, and we treat you that way. And so, therefore, you become important. You actually get my cell number. You call me from 9 in the morning to 9 at night. That's why I've got cut off. I tell them I'm a single guy. You don't tell them what you hear after 9 o'clock, man.
Right.
You call me
right.
at 9 o'clock, you might hear some squeaking noise or something. You don't
Oh,
want to
man.
Yeah, you don't want to
do all that.
You don't want to do all
man.
that. So 9 to 9, they can call me, and I really do give them my cell number. And I talk to every client.
So basically, in a nutshell, your success rate is high.
Like I said, really very high. It's
Wow.
97%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, another
That's what's
3% is people that didn't really listen, but they didn't get foreclosed upon. They just didn't listen to what I try to teach them, like when they come in, I try to figure out a way to show them how to pay that house off early. You can take a 30-year mortgage and pay it off in 15 just by doing smart things. I won't do that on camera, but I do that for the client. And I show them how to do it with little bit of money every month, not a whole nother payment like most people think. It doesn't take that. It's when and how much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's what's happening. And
Yeah.
well, again, continued
Yeah.
success today, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we're going to get into the big stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know you as Cleo.
Yeah.
Good friends, by the way. And here's my first question. Let's just get it out the way. I know you've been out of radio for a long time.
Yeah.
And as far as hip hop goes, give me your take on what do you think is looking like now and in the near future?
Man, I've gotten this question many times.
I know you have.
I will say this. It is, to me, hip hop, to me, is so watered down right now it ain't even funny. I try to, now the beats are still good. I'm gonna give them that. The beats are still good. But the talent, it's somewhere along the line, a lot of them lost the message, lost how to give a message, how to be a messenger, how to be an advocate. Rappers, when this stuff started, all of them were advocate. They were writing, I mean, especially from the East Coast. Now, when it comes to the West Coast kind of played it down just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Now, they found a way to make the happier songs, the really tough stuff didn't come to NWA, did it? But what's going down right now, like designer and stuff like that. And I mean, I look at them guys and I actually laugh. I was talking to Snoop not too long ago when he came to Dallas. He called me.
Okay.
And we were talking, we were actually laughing about it because I told him I saw the interview he was doing on television about the rappers today. And we started laughing about it again. I said, man, there's just, I think they're trying to do what I call the shock theory. How bad can I shock you? That's like me coming out here in a clown suit and I'm rapping. I'm trying to shock you. When I see these guys wearing pants down below their butt and it's tight on top of it, I'm lost. Why are you wearing tight pants? You're no woman. I'm lost. I don't mind the look that they got. I mean, they got a look. So, I mean, they're trying to do something. But for some reason, it has taken this downward spiral. And I'm going to say, I'll willing to bet you any amount of money that the old school rappers, when it comes to dividends, funds, made way more money.
I would agree with that.
Way
I would
more
agree
money.
with that.
Way more money. You had more millionaires come out of the 80s and the 90s than you at rap than probably most people. Now don't get me wrong, Drake and stuff like that is making money. I actually like Drake. I like Drake a little bit. I can live with him. But the ones that go over the top, I can't do them.
Like A$AP Rocky or Ty Dolla $ign, something like that.
Can't do them. I can't even do them, man. Matter of fact, I turned the station because I like hip hop. Like we got the old hip hop station here in Dallas. I actually love the hip hop station here in Dallas. To me, they finally got it right. Now, they play too much East Coast for me, but yeah, they finally got it right. They finally got it right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Oh, well. Question B for that.
Okay.
And you were stating about rappers
Okay.
and the message.
Yeah.
And so I have this question: do lyrics still matter?
To me, they do. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I have a 20-year-old son that loves rap music, and I can be with him and I'm listening, and I ain't gonna lie to you, dude. For the first time in my life, I don't understand what the hell he's saying. I have to listen to it maybe 10 times to pick it up.
Oh, don't get me started.
Or I have to ask my nieces and nephews, what did he say? And that's total honesty. I miss it. I'm like, what did he say? Because they're so garbled and even if you ask them, like I was watching Free, oh not Free, but Sway in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with Sway have them come on and they got a freestyle. The new ones can't do it. They can't do it. They can't do it. That's one thing I love about Sway. Everybody that comes on his show can flow.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I saw something on the way here, and Redman is a regular there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Redman is.
And we already know about Redman because
Yeah.
Redman got flows for days.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. I like Redman. See, I'll listen to old school. It's like I heard somebody say this. I can't remember what rapper said this. I was listening to a show, and he says, I stopped listening to radio in 1995.
Okay.
He says, I don't do anything else, but yet he's doing records. I can't remember who it was, and for the life of me, that's gonna bug me now. But it made sense the way he said it. He says, it just started changing, and as it changed, it didn't change for what he thought was the better. If I take Dallas, for instance, Dallas has an abundance of really, really good rappers. But to me, the ones that are extremely good don't get the chance anymore. The ones that do stuff out of the ordinary, that's the ones you hear about. That's the ones you hear about making noise, and I don't get them. They're trying to be, I remember at one time, the South was a joke when it comes to rapping. They considered the South, the Georgia, all the way to Texas. They considered us as the joke. It was East Coast and the West Coast. We were not thought of. All of a sudden, when the New Orleans boys and the dudes and the people in Atlanta start making noise, everybody start trying to sound like them. Everybody.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you had this sound come from it. And it has just been, and don't get me wrong, I love both of them, but the problem is it's the backwash from them. That's the sound that's going down now.
Okay.
Because you got TIP, who I think is masterful, beyond a doubt. But what came behind him is the problem.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And what came behind him is the problem. When you got the West Coast is pretty much, this is it. This is what you get on the West Coast. You're not getting anything out of the ordinary on the West Coast. You're getting exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get your gangster rap, and they're going to come straight with it, and they're going to stay on that same plane. Everybody else is changing. The East Coast, same way. They're not changing. It's the Southern sector that's doing the change, but they're the one that's dominating the airways now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, being a DJ,
Yeah.
and again, you were a big influence on me because I started DJing basically for me as an outlet to stay out of trouble. So I want to thank you for that.
I appreciate it.
And now, as far as from a DJ standpoint goes,
Okay.
do you agree that as DJs we're not getting, whether male or female, do you think we're not getting the recognition that we're supposed to be?
That's a good question. And
Oh, and before you answer that,
Yeah.
I want to say this. I saw a interview with Cash Money, DJ Cash Money.
good friend.
Yeah. And he said, and I'm a friend of his on Facebook, and he said, he defined what a mixtape actually was.
I've had this discussion.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like him, and I know possibly you too,
Yeah.
it bothers me.
Yeah.
Because he said it makes him angry as a DJ, and I agree with that. So in that essence, do you think we supposed to be are we getting recognized enough or not enough, or what's your take on it?
I'm glad you asked this question. Tad Money is absolutely right. Yeah, that mixtape thing bothered the crap out of me at first too.
Yeah.
It really did. Because you ain't mixing. You're not mixing. So it's kind of bananas. But the state of you know what? Can I just use Dallas for an example?
Sure, go right ahead.
All right. I got an award back a few years ago. And,
Yeah, I remember that.
and I was, I spoke last. It was a Core DJs. I got an award. I got a Legends Award from them.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. And I was watching everybody that got up there, and I really paid attention to what they said. You know, and it's all fun and dandy when you're talking and you're popular and people like you, and yes, it's all fun and dandy. But when you take the state of what myself and you, Shay, when we left it to a group of people, when we said, okay, we're done, here you go, pass the torch. Everybody wanted to be on the radio so bad, and everybody wanted to be in the club so bad, that they started watering it down. Now, here's what I mean when I say that. When I was DJing, I wouldn't even come in the door. I wouldn't DJ a party come in the door for less than $5,000. And we're talking in the 80s.
Yeah.
The DJs today make $100, $200 a night. If they make that. Some of them may be better, they may make $400 or $500. But you don't have any $1,000 DJs out there. There's no such thing. There's a few people that you could fly in to do it. But in Dallas, I haven't met one. Because they've watered the system down so bad that the little guys who decided to become, I'm gonna be a DJ, I'm gonna push a button. That's what I'm doing. I'm sampling and I'm pushing a button. I rocked 4 turntables completely. And I will challenge anybody out there to come rock 4 turntables against me without pushing buttons. You'll get embarrassed.
Did you hear that?
You'll get embarrassed.
Did you get
I will
that?
say it, and I don't care who gets mad about it. You will get embarrassed. if you got to push a button to do what you want to do, if you got to use the computer to get it where you want to, when I say challenge, I mean pull out some vinyl and rock 4 turntables against me, and I promise you, we can do it anywhere you want. Winner take all. I can bet any amount of money you want to bet. I'll do it. But I will rock 4 turntables to prove my point. They can't do it because they don't practice it enough. You don't know the rhythms. One turntable does one thing, other turntable does another, the other turntable does another, and the third one is to get ready for the whole thing to start over again. You gotta know what you're doing. And they ain't gonna know what they're doing. They can rock 2 turntables, they can out scratch me. Now listen, I ain't touched a turntable since 2007, and I promise you I can rock 4.
Yeah, because I saw a couple, I think a pic that my man Dallas Scratch, big ups to him.
Yeah.
That you were in it and you on there with him.
Yeah, what I did was, Romeo Noe in Fort Worth,
Yeah.
who I think is an incredible rapper. I really do. That's one that hasn't got his break yet. I think he is just phenomenal. He probably need a different producer. He needs to get a producer not from Texas. And no offense to anybody in Texas, because I love like Erotic D and people like that.
Yeah, Erotic D.
He needs to get somebody outside because for some reason he has this sound that don't fit here. I promise you, he has this sound that does not fit here. Another one is Fiasco. Is it Fiasco? I'm gonna say his name. I always say that boy name wrong.
Picasso.
I always say his name wrong. Picasso. I heard somebody say he was George Clinton's bastard stepchild. I got that from the guy with KNON, Eddie D. But he is like, I don't know why this guy has not gotten his comeuppance.
And you know what? I saw a video of him doing something. I don't know where he was, but his flow was crazy.
This guy has a mind on him that only scientists should be able to get through.
Something like that. I mean, I don't know math, but you can completely understand what he's talking about.
And I know he's been trying, and he's been doing well, and he's very well known. But that's the one guy outside of the DOC that I have thought, from the moment I saw him, he should be a superstar.
Okay.
He just haven't had the right click or the right people around him or put him in the right position, because you don't stifle a person like that. You let him do what he does, but you put a team around him to get him where he is. He needs a marketing team.
Okay.
Because I think he's marketing himself. I'm not sure if I'm wrong, Picasso, get me wrong. But he's got a phenomenal twist to anything and everything he says. And it just, every time I see a video of him, I just go, wow, I wish I had met him back in the day. Because I promise you, I would have gave him the same type of chance I gave the DOC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now touching on Doc T, sort of
Doc T, well, yeah, I would do the same.
As far as the crew goes, have you heard from Fresh K? Do you still talk to him, or have you heard from him?
I have not heard from Fresh K in years. Now, I know people that know him and talk to him, but I personally have not talked to Fresh K.
Do you still talk to DOC?
Every now and then. I mean, we saw each other at the movie premiere, and we kind of talk on Facebook. We see Facebook friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm proud of him. Like I said before, most people thought that was a major rift. There was never a major rift. Doc had opportunities that I could not give him, and that's real. He had opportunities that I could not give him because at the stage I was at, he had to go bigger than what the Feed the Fresh crew could give him at that time. And that's the truth. So when I took him to the West Coast and he met those guys, they talk back and forth. It is what it is. I had no animosity at first, as a male. I got a little ego thing going on.
Yeah.
But once I thought about it, and it's no different than the persons that gave me a chance. You gotta grow, and once you grow, a lot of people, you can't reach back and pull forward. You can't do that to everybody. But you have to figure out a way to get your sound across. And at the right time, Dre was my friend, and we didn't talk after that for a long time. Me and Dre did not talk, and we were childhood buddies. But I understood Dre saw in him what I saw in him. Dre saw the talent, and it just blew him away. And I don't blame him, because that's what when I first saw him, that's what I saw. And I said, this kid's got something that I've never seen before. And if I can get this boy on some wax some kind of way, I'm gonna do it. And I didn't do the record business. I mean, I was in the record business, but I didn't do the record business. Like, the Feel the Fresh Crew was the first thing I ever produced. Hate to Go to Work was the first song I ever produced.
Which is my favorite, by the way. Oh, and by the way, for those that don't know, I know we talked about this before on Facebook, but on the original 12-inch, who did the cuts on it?
I did. I did everything on it.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to get that out there, because people be, and
Believe
I heard the song the other day, and on Boom 94.5, and I was like, oh man.
Oh, they put it on there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Menace didn't miss. Big up to DJ Menace, by the way.
Oh yeah, really? I do. I listen to him. I like him.
Yeah, if you don't know who he is, check out the track Jam at 5.
Yeah.
He's cold. That boy's cold. But everybody, and I'm gonna admit to it, I'm a fessor to it. I try to do the cuts on it.
Oh shit.
I can't do it, and I can't do it. Me being a DJ I've been doing it for like on and off for like 20 years. I can't do it.
Wow.
This man here, don't know how he did, but you know that's like ancient Chinese secret. He ain't gonna tell you.
Trying to. I think I was learning to crab scratch back then. I was practicing it. I didn't really know it that well, but I tried it on that track.
Yeah, but those cuts are cold, man. Those cuts are cold.
I appreciate it. I don't know if I can still do them, but I appreciate it. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I did it. Believe it or not, man, I went out and bought an SP1200.
Right.
That was the first song I did.
Oh, you did that? Oh, okay. You did all that on SP1200.
I did it all on the SP1200.
Okay.
Everything. The Ronnie Law sample from Friends and Strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I did everything and just found the sound in there. And once I started doing the beat, and because I liked that Friends and Strangers as a kid, I listened to that song, and I don't know what it was about that song I liked. So when I got a chance to actually do a record, I said, I'll sample that. And the weird part about it is I had what they call break records back then. I had a bunch of break records I used to get from New York. And and after I did that song, it had the Foster Silvers one, Misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Which is actually the DLC's Funky Enough.
Yeah.
We did it in my garage, and then he took it to Dre, and Dre redid it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how it came to play.
All right.
Which is okay. I mean, hey, it is what it is. They made it, and he did good with it, and that's what got him paid. I'm happy for him.
Man, I love talking about stuff like that.
Yeah,
Man, you found something like
yeah.
And I know you. Do you still practice?
No, believe it or not, the reason I didn't stop this for a reason. I got my house broken into. Went off and left the alarm off one day, and they took all the turntables, all the records. They even took the gold records off the wall.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, they took the wax. That means they had to load a truck up to my house, is the way I saw it. They took the wax, they took, some of this stuff ended up in a pawn shop, and I got a couple of the things back, but I didn't get everything back. So that was my way of saying, you know what, I'm done. So, but most of the wax though, I'd already given away. Believe it or not, most of the wax I had given to Uche. I gave him close to maybe like 3,000 records.
Wow.
Somewhere off in there. So the cool thing about it is once everybody was starting to go a little bit digital, I had this guy, a friend of mine, came over and got like 100 records at a time, and he put them on an MP3 player and then into a drive. So I actually have the music, just don't have the wax.
Yeah.
But I got a drive with 650,000 songs on it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got a terabyte, so I got everything from 1970 to 2005.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a big collection.
Yeah, it's a big collection. I generally, when I want something back in there, I just go get it, and everything is categorized. So it's categorized, and if I pull up Beyonce, all her albums will pull up in order.
Oh, okay.
If I pull up any rapper, in order. EMPD, all her albums in order. You know, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
I like it.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And well, you just answered my question about crate digging.
Crate
So-
digging. Yeah.
so-
that was an art in itself.
Which I still do.
And man, I love, man, crate digging. You know, the cool thing about it is I used to go to, besides getting stuff from the record companies and stuff like that, getting sent to me. The cool thing I used to love to do was go into Forever Young, and just dive. Just go in there and find something obscure to mix. You know, I don't know if you remember, I used to play a lot of white music and people didn't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
I was mixing it in the other records because I thought it was so cool, like the Art of Noise. I played a lot of Art of Noise.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, I played a lot of Art of Noise. It was, what's that other guy that I used to love when I'm looking at it? Mike and somebody, I can't think of their name now, God Lord, it's gonna drive me crazy. But yeah, it's really cool to go and find something that, and because Forever Young used to let you go and listen to it,
Mm-hmm.
you just go, wait, oh, I can do that with this. You know, that's how I used to crate dive for old music, for real old music, like Motown stuff.
Yeah.
That's how I came up with the Planet Rock, along with, God, now I'm driving, everybody's gonna remember this, but I sit here and drew a blank. Mr. Postman.
Okay. Yeah.
Mr. Postman.
Yeah.
That's how I came up with Mr. Postman.
And sometimes, and I think if I remember back in the day, because when you were at 104 doing all the Saturday night live shows.
Yeah.
And by the way, speaking of that, we're gonna jump this song. When you were live on the show, were those shows actually recorded?
No, everything was live. No recording.
Did you record anything? Everything was just live.
Everything was live. No recording.
So if you were at home and you had the tape, cassette tape player, click, that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
No. I used to do that too.
And they wouldn't, K104 would not let me record for the show. Only time I've ever been recorded is when I went to my grandfather's funeral in LA, and I wasn't gonna be in town, and they let me record a whole show at home. Of course, without a crowd or nothing like that, but I recorded the whole show. So I mostly mixed. I didn't talk to you that much because I was pretty emotional, so I did a lot of drops.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only time that I ever, at that time when I worked for him, that I ever recorded a show. Other than that, everything was live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. From Stars, Stars to Shamrock Skating Rink.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're
man.
the first person that said I was at Stars. Most people forget that.
Yeah, 9410 March Lane.
Yeah.
And I guess, I guess when I moved here, that's when I first heard about it.
Okay.
And that's like, Club Stars. Where's Stars at?
Lying around the corner 2 hours before it even opened.
I'll bet.
Man, we used to laugh because girls would come and get in line with their rollers in their hair and have a mirror and doing their hair in line.
Oh man.
I
Trying to get in the
wish
club
I
to
could
see
have
rock.
I wish I could have videotaped that back then, but yeah, the club opened up at 9 o'clock. We used to give specials between 9 and 10, you know. So people lined up. The majority of the people were in the club before 10 o'clock. So that's when we would tell people, the line is long. If you don't get here now, you ain't gonna get in. That was real. That was no joke. It wasn't a promotion. It wasn't a marketing ploy. It was true. And I think I put pictures. I think I got pictures up on Facebook of the lines But yeah, especially the lines got longer as I think the longest lines was Shamrock. Because Shamrock was so crazy that I would get a ticket from the Lancaster Police Department every Monday morning.
Wow.
For crowd control for the street of Lancaster Road, not being able to get down it.
Yeah.
And so they gave me a ticket. And every Tuesday, the owner would pay for the ticket.
Oh, okay.
He would pay. I mean, God helped this man. That man loved me so much that he bought me a car. I'll never forget this. He bought me my first Mercedes.
Damn.
Yeah, but I didn't realize I had made him over $1 million. Yeah, so he didn't buy my first car, but he bought me my first Mercedes. Yeah, I was driving the mini trucks and stuff like that, and I had a BMW, and he said, "Man, you making good money. You need to be in a Benz." I said, "Man, I'm not buying no Benz. That's too expensive. I don't need no Benz." About a week later, it was my birthday, and we had just got through with the club, and he said, "Hey, man, I got something in the garage out back." So I said, "All right." He said, "I got you a present." I thought it was gonna be like a bike or something like that, because we were talking about riding motorcycles and stuff like that. And opened up, and there was a big old ribbon on it, and him and his wife presented me the Mercedes.
Wow.
And,
you remember what model it was?
Yeah, what's that, the 280? The little small Benz, the smaller Benz of the 280?
I think it's a 280 CK or something like that.
Something like that, 280 something. I mean, and I bought Benzes after that, but yeah, it was, or 290. 190, that's what it was, a 190.
Oh, okay.
190 Mercedes, yeah. So I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. In fact, you bought me a freaking car. So
and you didn't even know you was gonna get it.
No, I didn't know I was gonna get it. And that's when I realized how much money I really making him.
Wow.
Because we were averaging about 2,000 people a night, because of course on a skating rink it's wide open, and there wasn't no skating, it was just all on the floor. So and we were doing that every Saturday night, and then some. I think the biggest one we've ever done was when me and U-Shape battled at in Pleasant Grove and I'm having some brain farts today. What's the one in Pleasant Grove? Dang it!
Wow, I remember that battle.
Twilight.
Twilight.
I'm forgetting.
Twilight.
Getting everything. Twilight, and it got so big that they called in the police with the helicopter and the horses, because people wanted to get in and there was nowhere else to go. It was 5,000 inside.
And that was during the holiday too, if I remember correctly.
According to the police, it was over 10,000 people outside trying to get in.
Cause Dr. Rock and U-Shape wanted to battle, man.
It finally happened.
I mean, now I know that's a good memorable moment. Cause I think I was listening to the radio when that happened, and I remember I turned on. It's like you was like, "Yo, come on, 4FM. This is Battle of the DJs begin. Give him a cash." And I'm like, "Oh, Rock gonna get him."
Yeah, well, see, U-Shape, what people don't know, he didn't want to do it. I explained to him the amount of money and how it was going to go down, and what share he was going to get.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I could beat him, and he's the incumbent. He was the incumbent at that time. So I gave him much respect, even though it seemed like I didn't on radio. That's just marketing. We were actually friends. So
y'all were having fun as far as I can see.
Having fun like crazy. And I mean, I looked up to Shay, man. I used to, when I first got here, I would go to Stars and see him. And I said, this is their best. I can beat this. Now, I'm being honest. I can beat this. Because what it was Dwayne Dancer is the one that brought me to Dallas. I went to school at UT. I came from Texas to go to UT.
Okay.
And I would come to Dallas because my brother lived here.
All right.
So I would go to the clubs and carry on. So on the weekend, every time, then I started DJing a little bit in Fort Worth, just a little. And it was a club called Speakeasy.
Okay.
And Fort Worth knew about me, but nobody else did. So Fort Worth is really the birth of me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Dwayne Dancer came over there because he heard about this club in Fort Worth that was just packing out because of this DJ from California. Mm-hmm. And so he came and he said, hey man, and I told him, I said, well dude, I live in Austin. I go to school. And so I said, sometimes I can't come, you know, the club owner understands sometimes I can't come. He said, man, that's what they make planes for.
Yeah.
And so every weekend I flew, and I never forget my first night on the air, 107.5.
K&OK?
No, yeah, KNOK. And I got in there, and I thought they were going to have turntables and a mixer for me, and they didn't. All they had was the 2 turntables with the buttons, with the big knobs. And I said, okay, where's the regular turntables? He goes, we ain't got it. So he said, well, I said, what do you want me to do? He said, you got to go home. I'm like, oh crap. Okay, how am I going to do this? So I took the rubbers off these old turntables, cut a piece of paper, made a slip disc.
Okay.
Took a nickel and put it on each one of the things, and I scratched with the knobs.
Wow.
And the owner of the station came by, called me, because it was Sunday and I was getting ready to leave, go back. He came by, he says, that was the most incredible thing I've heard. What do you need to buy? And they went out and bought me my setup the next day.
Wow.
Yeah, they did. Because I didn't have it. I was using club stuff. I didn't have it.
Wow. Dang.
So Baron Bacon was standing over me at the time, and he was just like, eyes wide open. He was like, what are you doing? And I say, scratching. What the hell? I said, just watch, bro. Just watch. You know? And I was playing mostly what I know, which was the West Coast stuff, which wasn't really here yet.
So basically, you were breaking West Coast stuff before anybody else knew about the West Coast.
I was breaking the East Coast stuff and West Coast stuff. There was nothing in the South there was no rappers in the South at that time when I first started. There was absolutely no rappers that I could say I picked up their records and played. Just, it wasn't there.
Okay.
Everything was from these 2 coasts. So like when I played the Fat Boys, UTFO and stuff like that, they were like, what is this stuff? I never forget, Dwayne Dancer called me in the office that following Friday, and we went over a playlist. He said, I like that. What do you hear that? He said, then he finally said, you know what? I'm not gonna bother you. You play whatever you like. And gave me carte blanche to just do whatever. And they were having a problem with BMI because I was playing all this different stuff that they weren't paying for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so all of a sudden now they had to go to a whole new book of stuff, and Mr. C, which was the owner of the station, he says, man, I don't care. So my first ratings book, who I ever did, U-Shape was on K104 and I was on KNOK. And of course KNOK didn't have a good signal. Mm-hmm. U-Shape had got a 15 share on K104. And prior to that, the share that was in my time slot on KNOK was like a 1.2. It was a 19.7.
Wow.
So that's when K104 started knocking down my door.
Okay.
I never forget, it was when that book came out, it was like, wait a minute, if he can do this with this small signal, what can he do for us with a big signal? And I didn't want to leave KNOK. I got mad because Dwayne Dancer was my mentor. And they were replacing him with this other program director named Kelly, who I did not like. We didn't have nothing in common. I can't remember Kelly's last name. We didn't, and I hate to say this, guys, I'm not prejudiced, but he was a white guy programming a black station at that time. Mm. So it's cool now, but at that time, it was like damn near unheard of. So he came in and he was giving me all his ideas and he was telling me what records I could and could not play, and I'm like, dude, you gonna tell me what to mix? And yeah, this is what the focus groups say. I said, man, you just got the Dallas. How would you know what focus groups say? You know, so.
You probably didn't know what that was.
He was giving me the East Coast crap.
Oh.
That's what he was doing.
Okay.
So, so Terry Avery, who was the program director at K104, picked up the phone and hollered at me. Say, I want to take you to lunch, take you to dinner, see if we can talk to you. So yeah, okay. And then that's when I met Michael Spears.
Okay.
K104. And I was telling him, I says, well, you guys got U-Shape, so what do you want with me? He says, we want both of y'all. I said, oh, you can't kill him, you make a joint. I said, okay. I said, and he said, oh, what you mean? I said, oh, I know what the book means now. I know what it means.
Yeah, you can't beat him, join him.
Beat him, join him. So he says, well, and at that time, K&OK was paying me decent. I mean, I had finally started doing parties outside, but they were paying me decent. What I consider decent. But K104 came at me with a stupid number. Just a stupid number. And told me I was going to be number 2 to Ushay. For that kind of money, I'm going to be number 2. So, I only had to DJ one night a week. And they paid me $75,000.
Which was Saturday night.
Which is Friday night.
Oh, it was Friday
Started
night?
out on Friday night in K104. Ushay was on Saturday. I was on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the weird part about it is people don't remember that too. I started out on Friday and Shay kept getting in trouble Saturday night. Sometimes he wouldn't show up on time or, things would happen. So I remember I got the call one Saturday evening that said, go to Stars right now and get him off the air. I think Shay was high on the air is what it was.
Wow.
And he was in the back, so I fired up the record. Boom, and the crowd went bananas. I didn't know that his crowd was my crowd as well.
Okay.
We were co-mingling. So I saw the opportunity to clown in Stars. I wanted to because Stars was the club then. So
that it was.
Yeah, so the owner come back to me and said, man, can you come back? I said, that's the radio station's call. He said, well, I'm calling tomorrow. The dude called the station. They said, yeah, Rock gonna be in here on Saturday night from there on. And that's when I took Ushay's spot. That's how it happened.
Now, after that, was there any animosity?
Oh, of course it was.
Towards you both?
Of course it was. I remember the first...
With the move that the radio station made?
Mm-hmm. I remember the first time I came to go see him at Stars when K104 hired me. I went to go see him. And I'm in the booth, and he's rocking. He's, Ushay, he's doing the head. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Dr. Rock in the house. I'm number 1. Remember, boy, you number 2. And I took that personal.
Okay.
I took that very personal because I thought we were as one team.
Mm-hmm.
But he was letting me know he was number 1 and I was number 2.
Uh-oh.
So I took that real personal. So Friday nights, I'm gunning, The cool part about it, I can't remember what club was I in, and he was in something else. I was in, at that time, where was I at? I might have said it was in Fort Worth. I think it was in Fort Worth. No. At the time Shay was at Stars, yeah, I was in Fort Worth. I was at Speakeasy.
Speakeasy.
Yeah, I was at Speakeasy, so I was, yeah. So, I took it very personally. He told me I was number 2 when I already knew I beat him in ratings. So I'm like, okay. So when the book came out, and I remember the book came out for Friday night, Saturday night, I beat him again.
And usually, I think 104 would do a small promo saying about the ratings on there.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact,
I think back in the day, they used to do that a lot.
I did that a lot. Well, the biggest book ever, and it still holds record to this day. No one has ever beat it. The station did a 10.7.
Wow.
10.7. I remember Grand Poobah, which is Michael Spears, going bananas over the ratings. Just absolutely going bananas. I mean, everybody got bonuses behind that one. It made so much money for the station. It made the station become more prominent around the country at that time. Everybody was trying to buy that radio station from Uncle High. He wouldn't sell it. And still hasn't sold it to this day. And that station is worth at least 400 to 700 million. And it may be close to, maybe over that now because, well, I'll take that back because the ratings are different. It may be a little less than that now. But at that time, the big companies was just offering money for them. Just offering. It was a cash cow.
Yeah, and basically back then it was flourishing.
It was flourishing. Commercials was $700 in the morning for 15 seconds.
Wow.
And they was getting
that much money.
And they were getting it too, buddy. And I was proud to say I was a big part of that. It was pretty cool because it was Tom Joyner in the morning, Michael Hernandez after that. I think Warren Epps came in after that, and then Dick Doodah Edwards at night.
Yep, Doodah.
Yeah, Edwards at night. You know, and that was that lineup, man. It was a very formidable lineup.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I remember, well, I think this was like before I met you, shook your hand in person. Somebody gave you a picture, a black and white picture of all of y'all.
Yeah.
All of y'all on I think it was Wyvern St. John,
Yeah.
Michael Hernandez, and it was you. You had on you had on an Adidas shirt.
Yes.
Yeah, Jerry Curl.
I had no damn Jerry Curl, man. That's my hair.
Huh?
That's my hair. I wouldn't take off my hat, but I didn't hear that. That's my hair. I never had a Jerry Curl. That is my hair. What I did was is I would put grease and oil to make it look like a Jerry Curl.
Oh man.
Yeah, I never had a Jerry Curl.
But why ain't you have a hat on though?
I like hats. I've always liked hats. Oh, you talking about why they have it in the picture?
Yeah.
Pupa, what you call him? Michael Spears. They didn't want me to have a hat on.
Okay.
Trying to get us to look, a certain way. And yeah, you're right. I do. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I done had a Jerry Curl. I'm tired of that rumor.
Hey, do you still have that picture?
I actually do.
Well, hell, we'll probably go take
It's
a look at it.
it's on my Facebook page.
Oh,
You're
okay.
digging deep in there. It's in there. Matter of fact, who else done mess with? Shoot, I think Scratch got one on there or something. But yeah, it's definitely on there, man. There's a black and white picture that I was at Six Flags, DJing at Six Flags, and hosting the group, The Boys. And they got a black and white picture of me, man. I hope never surface.
Oh,
But it's actually on Facebook. But I didn't realize how I'm skinny, but I didn't realize how really skinny I was back then. I
wow.
was really skinny, man. God, dog, I was skinny.
Okay, you remember the video you did for How You Doing Work?
Yeah. Skinny did. Yeah, skinny. I was always been thin all my life, man. This is probably the heaviest I've ever been, and I'm just.
But see, you had some moves back then.
Yeah, I still got them.
You still be there?
I still got them. I'm still doing a little.
Hey, listen, if you don't think Dr. Rock can cut a rug, don't challenge him, cause he can still cut a rug, man. He can still cut a rug.
I used to try to pop, lock, and break and all that other stuff, man. I didn't like breaking because I didn't want to spin on my head. I felt like I was too skinny. If I get an accident, I break my neck, I was gonna be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. I just didn't want to do that one.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. No, that's it. It's not designed. The human body is not designed to spin on their head, but people do it, of course. But I promise you probably see more kids that have tried that end up in a wheelchair, because it was happening. People were breaking their neck, literally.
I guess if you weren't in shape.
Yeah, that could be it too. That could be
happen.
Yeah, I could understand, but I just didn't want to do it.
Oh, okay. Because now, fast forward to now, you got all these different crews from all over the world. Still,
And they may know how to
still hip hop dancing, still pop locking.
They may know how to do it correctly to where I didn't know how to do it correctly. Because the first time I tried it, I thought I was going to break my neck. So I sprung my neck and I said, that was it. I never tried it again. Yeah. I thought, paralysis. No, can't do that.
Oh, paralysis.
Yeah, no, don't want to do that.
Well, fast forward to now.
Okay.
As far, and I know we touched on this earlier, as far as the technology goes, do you embrace it, or do you actually care about it? You know, like the Seratos and the tractors and the final scratches and all that. Do you embrace?
Well, as we all know, we have to progress. That's part of life. If you're not progressing in life, then you just standing still. You're wasting time. You might as well go ahead and die and get out the way.
Right.
So I personally, I'm not mad at it. It's just it diminishes the skill level. I used to practice 4 hours a day, every day, even when I was in college. 4 hours a day, every day. And I tell you who got me to doing that was Mixmaster Ice of UTFO, which we were the greatest of friends.
Word.
He came down and he visited me one time and he hung out at my house and he stayed with me. And he came and said, well, where's your turntable? I said, oh, in the back room. And he was in there for hours. I said, man, you want to grab something to eat? He said, no, man, I gotta finish. I said, gotta finish what? He says, I practice 4 hours a day. I try to learn something new, or whatever I'm doing, I try to perfect it. And I said, dude, why? I said, you're good. He says, yeah, but I want to be better. He says, in order for me to progress, I have to get better, in order for me to learn a new trick. So I went and I started doing this thing where I would take the dun, 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 with the 3, turn to 3, dun, 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 dun. He was like, you're off. I said, what do you mean I'm off? Because I would dun, dun, catch this one and put it back in there. He says, you need a 4th. I said, what do you mean I need a 4th? He says, you need 4 beats now. You don't do 3 on the comeback on 4. You need all 4. I said, oh, really? So then he started showing me how to do it, because I thought that I wasn't quick enough to come back for that 4th one.
Yeah.
And he showed me with the top.
Oh, with the
So the last one is, and then let it go. It's a grab it and let it go.
Okay.
And that's how I learned to do that. That's how I learned to transform.
Yes.
Watching him is how I learned to transform with the slide fader, and I learned how to perfect a little bit of the crab scratching watching him. Mixmaster, I still DJs to this day. Still to this day. And he is probably one of the unsung DJs that should be mentioned in the same name as Jazzy Jeff.
Right.
He should be.
Hey, as he should.
Yeah.
As he should.
He is
Cause
phenomenal.
Yeah, cause he's a big influence on me too. I mean, Jeff, Ice, hell, even Mr. Mix.
Mr. Mix, yeah.
Of Two Live.
Yeah.
I mean, and
I tell you, I've had this question one time. People ask me, what is the baddest DJ you've ever seen? And most people say Jeff, because Jeff is incredible.
And he's still doing his thing.
Yeah, Jeff is incredible, man. I got love for him, and he knows it. But I promise you, this kid had never gotten in trouble. DJ Aladdin was the baddest thing I've ever seen on 2 turntables.
And if you don't know who that is, used to be with a group called Low Profile with Dub C.
He also
WC
he also was Ice-T's DJ for a while.
Yep.
He won the DMC, and he could have won it every year for 10 years if he wanted to. I promise you, this boy was. It's hard to be in the room with him.
I mean, I think a favorite, I guess a personal favorite song of mine to this day from them is that's why they do it.
Yeah.
And he did the cuts on that joint. I was like, whoa, man, Aladdin better not get in trouble.
He got in trouble. Ended up going to jail and some other stuff. I don't know. I think it's dope or something. I don't know, man. It's a West Coast thing. So, but that dude, man, in the right circles, his name would have been talked about as one of the greats. He's the one that got away from us. When I say got away, because he should have been everybody's. And he would have been beloved just like Jazzy is. Because I promise you, this boy was nasty when he was young. He was nasty in the 80s. And so there was no way Jazzy could have touched him in the 80s. Because Jazzy was in the DMC. He ain't win. Tad Money, all of them were in the DMC. That boy waxed him.
Tad Money?
Yeah, that boy waxed him. And Tad was the East Coast favorite outside of Jazzy, because Jazzy was in Philly. Them boys were in New York. And Jazzy waxed Tad. Tad had to go against Aladdin.
Couldn't touch it.
I was there, dude. That's what made me want to get in the DMC. I got in. But, No. That boy made me appreciate what the heck I do. I said, oh no, I got to practice. I'll never come back to this again and not practice.
Well, speaking of the West Coast, and I know I'm a friend of his on Facebook, you ever hear from Joe Cooley?
No. Man, Joe Cooley, no. I mean, I would love to holler at him. Shoot, man, that's the 80s. Last time I seen or talked to Joe Cooley.
Well, he's doing this thing still. I've seen him on a couple. Well, he posted a couple videos on his page,
Okay.
You know, he's in the playing the bass guitar now,
Oh, okay.
and he's still doing stuff with Rodney Oakland, man.
So Joe Cooley, man, I used to love that. I used to love.
I ain't gonna lie, I want to be like Joe Cooley too.
Man, I
Him
used
and
to
them
love
damn
that.
cutting.
I used to love that, man. Joe Cooley was the joint.
And with you on the radio, doing some of this stuff on the radio,
Yeah,
man.
I played a lot of his stuff, man. I hope he appreciated it because I know I made him some money.
At least, at least.
I know I made him some money. He's coming this way. I know I made him some money. So yeah.
Okay, well, I know you said that your big, you Shay, rest in peace, was, I guess one of your influences. Do you have any influences that got you into DJing?
I'll tell you real quick. 14 years old, Los Angeles Coliseum. Curtis Blow came to town along with some other rappers from the East Coast. And I got to see AJ, his DJ. That's when I knew I wanted to be a DJ.
Oh.
AJ.
Okay.
AJ.
Okay.
He had his own, Curtis Blow had his own record, man, and I was marveled at AJ. He looked at him and I was like, I can do that. But I didn't do anything about it. I went on home and just said I can do that. And the weird part, how I got to become a DJ, this young lady was having a house party at her house, and I was one of the guys that she liked. I know she liked multiple dudes, but I was one of the guys she liked. So I came over and helped set up the party. When the DJ was coming, I was helping him set up. He says, I'm gonna be late. If I'm late, just go ahead and put this cassette in and push the button. And it'll play, because he had made a cassette. I'm like, oh, okay, bet, So, sure enough, he was late. So I put the cassette in, people would come and I put the cassette in, the damn thing wouldn't work.
Uh-oh.
It wouldn't come on. I'm like, he got his records here, man. I'm gonna try. So I'm put the record on and I ain't trying to mix. I just went from record to record. And so about an hour went by and the party started getting a little crunk. I just said, I'll try to blend a couple. And I got it on the first try. I was like, oh, hell, I can do this. So I ended up DJing the whole party because a dude, what we didn't know, had got pulled over and went to jail.
Oh, man.
So I DJ'd the whole party and everybody, man, you got DJ my party, you got DJ my party. And Lonzo from the World Class Break Crew was in the party.
Wow.
Which we were neighbors.
Okay.
And he says, I didn't know you DJ, so Lonzo told me to come over his house and I practiced on Lonzo's turntables and he put me to work at 15 at Eve After Dark.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember him saying something like that on Vlad TV when he did an interview with him.
Yeah, when he did Eve After Dark, that's when Yella came around and Dre came around. I started doing mixes on the radio because Lonzo, once again, hooked that up.
Okay.
Lonzo was the key. He was paying my ass $35 a night, cheap bastard. But I didn't know anything.
I didn't say that, man.
I
didn't say
Lonzo,
that.
I said it, cheap bastard. I still, I love you. Yeah. He know I told him before. I said, you a cheap chump.
Oh,
But
man.
Lonzo would give us $35 a night, and it was like, I ain't thinking, man. But we liked DJing. It had nothing to do with the money. It had everything to do with the women chasing me.
Okay.
Basically, is what it. I couldn't afford them. Not at $35 to 16, but they loved me. And believe it or not, man, I still have some friends from back then, and we still talk. Girls that we still talk today, and it just blows my mind. This one girl named Pamela McClendon, who I think was the finest thing I'd ever seen when we were young. And today, she is still fine. We are Facebook friends, and I'm like, girl, I don't know how I let you get out of my life. Yeah, so I just told her, I said, we're going to stay friends from a distance. you stay in Cali.
from afar.
You stay in Cali, because if you came to Texas, people be in trouble. People be mad at me. Mainly the person I date now, she'd be mad at me because Pamela McCrindle would make me go backwards.
Okay.
Yeah, she would make me go backwards.
Now, as far as your partying, you're starting to become recognizable?
Yeah.
How did Get Live Production get started?
I was trying to think of a name for the record company.
Which is dope to me. Get Live Production.
Which is because I used to holler "Get Live" and it just kind of flowed, you know. So I just called it Get Live Production, and because I was trying to, as far as the group, I mean the production company for the DJ, I learned that from Lonzo. Lonzo was world class construction crew or world class wrecking crew, but he was disco construction first.
Yeah.
And so I just liked the way that formed. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna make a jacket, Get Live Production. So I just trademarked it, and I had a great lawyer at the time. It was Royce West, which is Senator Royce West right now.
Yeah, Royce West.
He's the one that said, oh man, you need to copyright that, and you need to copyright Dr. Rock. And I didn't know. I said, you can copyright a name?
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I copyrighted a name, but I didn't do it right because I didn't do it worldwide. It was only in the state of Texas. So when Dr. Rock from the Force MDs came to Dallas, which was Smooth D Rock,
right?
I made him cease and desist of using the word Dr. Rock. You cannot. Have Royce called me, changed his name to Smooth D Rock. We turned friends. People don't know Greg Street called himself Dr. Rock in Houston first. I made him stop.
Because there's only one.
Only one. And if I'd have known better, I would have did it worldwide, because there's a lot of guys out there named Dr. Rock, mostly white guys, mostly DJs in strip clubs. I don't know why, but there's a lot of them. There is a couple of rock and roll dudes named Dr. Rock. So yeah, but yeah, I made him change the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So to this day, it's still.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's still
copywritten.
copywritten. I mean, if somebody's using it, I don't scream and kick anymore. I used to take that very personal. Yeah, you couldn't use my name.
Because it's the same as I guess music. If you take somebody's stuff,
Yep.
that's against the law.
Yep.
And
yep.
you can sue. You can automatically sue somebody like that, right?
And I will.
Okay.
And I will. Lawyer's still the same lawyer. I will.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
me and Royce is still together.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I love it, man. Well, I will never leave his firm. I mean, as long as I need something done, if it's entertainment, I mean, I still get residuals from different records and carry on. So yeah, Royce is still in the paper.
Okay. Memorable moments. I can at least tell you one, and I remember like it was yesterday. I was living at South Winds Apartments. I don't know what the name of it is now, down the street from Carter High School.
Okay.
And one of my neighbors invited all of us to go to Shamrock. And her name is Faye. We used to call her Fat. But she knew people at the door. I mean, she paid our way in, but she knew people at the door. And I believe I met you for the first, I actually shook your hand for the first time. You came out the booth to go get something, and then you went right back in. And you were playing, I guess you were mixing, and you said that, I guess somebody was in town, concert. You said, I'm giving away some tickets. If y'all could make the most ugliest face in the world, I'll give y'all a pair of tickets. I remember that. But now everybody on the floor was like making the ugliest face in the world.
I would have said too. Yeah.
As far as, what memorable moments?
Wait a minute, what was the ugly face?
Huh?
What was the ugly face?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't stay there long enough for you to figure it out.
Oh, okay.
But I heard it, on the radio, you was like, ooh, that's a ugly ass. Well, you didn't say look bad, but that's a really ugly face. Come up here and get the ticket.
Okay.
And I knew you did that, like, off the mic. You go, you remember what concert that was?
No, I gave away tickets a little bit of everything, man. So I can't tell you that what that was. But more than likely, it had to be a rap concert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's the only thing I ever did. I mean, very seldom did I give away tickets to an R&B concert unless the radio station gave them to me to give them away. Most of the time, it'd be the promoters that give them to me.
Oh, okay.
You know, because that's their way of getting around paying the radio station, because they still be on the radio, but they gave them to me. Radio station let me do whatever I wanted to do. I had carte blanche.
Oh, okay, Carlos. Okay.
Yeah, otherwise there was no boundaries. I could do whatever I wanted to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say that you were a professor in college
Okay.
and hip hop 101. That's your curriculum.
I called it mixology 101.
But
Yeah,
that too.
Yeah.
And you had your class was nothing but up and coming DJs, male, female.
Oh wow.
What would and you're giving like a lecture, and what would be the first thing to come out your mouth as far as advice go to these up and coming DJs?
Save your money. This does not last forever. And anybody that think it does is mighty wrong. You can ask the old, it's so many old rappers that got big records, old DJs, we talk about DJs that got, once they left the business, they became broke because they thought that money was gonna last forever, so they didn't have a backup plan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a college graduate. I always have a backup plan. I've always had a backup plan. Whenever I told myself, I knew radio was not gonna last. I started learning about the mortgage in 2005. That was 2 years before I left the radio station.
Oh, okay.
So I prepared myself, you know. I said I'm gonna do something. I got a communications degree. I got a Bachelor of Arts, and I don't want to do media anymore. I had gotten burnt out like you wouldn't believe. So I chose not to do media anymore.
And now you golf.
All the time.
Golf. Remember, you know what? Remember when I called you? And that was a mistake.
Yeah.
I accidentally pushed the button.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell I just do? And then you called me right back.
Yeah.
What's up, man? I'm like, what you doing golfing?
Golfing.
Yeah.
It is my hobby. I love to play golf. I'm an avid golfer. I'm pretty good.
When's the next time you're going?
Shoot, Friday. I'm in a tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to get in.
Oh, yes, and if you do not know, it's Texas OU weekend. So get ready.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm playing in a tournament with a bunch of guys from it's Texas versus OU. And I'm a 2-year champion, reigning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a 2-year champion, reigning. They hate it too. The guys in Oklahoma tease me. They mess with me the whole time. But I am the reigning champion. I plan on being the champion again this Friday. I mean, they keep throwing them at me though. Oh, they keep bringing ringers in, but I beat them every time so far. So.
Okay, well let's talk sports right quick.
Yeah.
Their coach Charlie Strong, is it?
Yeah.
Well, how are they looking? How are things in Bevo Land? How they looking?
Now, I'm an advocate. I love Charlie Strong, and I want him to stay our coach. But we got a problem, and you know, I've always told people, other people wanted him out from day one. I mean, they were like not happy. But as an alumni, I said, you got to give the man a chance. You got to let him get his people in place, his players that he's going after in place. You got to let him. Okay, well he's on his 3rd year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so his people are in place. His young people are in place. And when they played Notre Dame, they played them, and they played them hard. So I said, well, here's the turnaround. This is his turnaround year. You know, his prized possession was Malik Jefferson playing the middle. This is his junior. It's a junior year. Yes, it's all junior freshman. So this is his junior year, and so therefore, his people are in place. His team is ready. For him to lose these last 2 games, it's unfair. I didn't get that. The teams that you're supposed to lose to, he wins, and the ones he's supposed to win, he loses. Now, I want him to beat Oklahoma. I guarantee you that if he don't beat Oklahoma, I can't see him being the coach next year. I can't, and I hate that because I want him to be the coach. I know he's a good coach. He's probably don't have the right other coaches around him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because our defense looks suspect.
Yeah, and not to be a hypocrite on that, with the firing of Les Miles from LSU.
I said that the other day. I wouldn't mind seeing Les Miles come to Texas.
And with the new coach we got, Ed Ogeron, with them winning there, winning too. So
Yeah.
we're gonna see what happens. It's gonna be very interesting. Hell, it's interesting now. Yeah, I know my Saints are 1-3. So with them going to San Diego, beating them, giving them their first win, I'm like, Sean, come on, man, really? But anyway, congrats on your Cowboys.
Yeah, you know that's right.
What are y'all 3-1 now?
3-1.
Okay.
I know we have not played a winning team yet, but that's getting ready to change. I'm honest about mine.
Okay, well, but let me ask you this, and I think I done seen it, and nobody wants to listen to me, so I'm gonna ask you, Cowboy fan,
Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott,
Yeah.
and honestly, I think he's the truth for y'all. But why Jerry Jones wants Romo to come back? Because I think behind the cameras, I think Jerry Jones is just steadily crying about the fact that Romo needs to come back.
I'll tell you why. $30 million. And he's a veteran and he's experienced. Yes, I would love to see them let Dak Prescott stay in his place. Unless Dak Prescott starts messing up, because Tony's not expected to come back until week 8. So we have, 5 more games. So in these 5 more games, if Dak goes 4-1 again or 3-2, you leave Dak alone. If Dak loses more than that one, then you have to look at Tony as the more seasoned and veteran, understanding. Because the one thing you notice about Dak, and you can go back and look at the 4 games, he don't throw down the field. He's not throwing down the field. He's thinking and dunking. He's throwing, the longest he's probably throwing is 20 to maybe 30 yards at max. On the fly. Ain't nobody went on the fly. He's threw a couple of passes on the fly, nothing yet. He has nothing. I did it in the preseason. I'm not sure why they're not letting him do it here, but it's working.
Meaning he's more running down?
He's doing exactly what the coach is doing. So these are the coaches doing this to him because he's proven he can throw downfield, but he's not doing it. So that means Jason Garrett is being conservative.
Okay.
The offensive coordinator, what's his name? I'm blank. But he's being conservative, which I think teams are going to finally start figuring this guy out because Beasley is becoming his prime target. And
Cole Beasley?
Cole Beasley. And I'm loving it because I got him on my fantasy team.
Okay.
I took him as a flex. So I was right to say what I said because he's a rookie. And every game he plays, he's getting more experience. But he hasn't come up against the teams that has complex defenses yet. But he's getting ready to.
Okay.
And as he get ready to get that started.
Yeah, I mean he's still getting his feet wet.
Correct. If he can prove to me that he can understand the complex defenses and he can weather the storm, because he looks calm and cool in the pocket, man, and I love it. The killer part is that kid can run.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so if they let him out the pocket, because you must remember, this is how Tony Romo got in.
Mm-hmm.
He did the exact same thing to Drew Bledsoe. The exact same thing. Got in the game, young kid, scrambling, throwing. That's what this kid is. Except he's sitting in the pocket. And if he breaks out and run, he's fast enough to leave you. So that's your future. So do you keep him in there now, or do you let him wait? So when Tony comes back, he watches and learns, because it's going to get complex. Tony Romo is a good quarterback. He just beat up. He's just breaking down. It's not the fact that he's not a good quarterback, because he is a good quarterback.
Okay, so you agree with him coming back, before even the name Dak Prescott was even mentioned. that
Before it was mentioned, and
that he gets hurt on the second preseason game, or was it the first one?
It was the second.
Okay.
Second or third? No, second. It was the second.
And even I stated then that he's not ready to come back.
Yeah.
And then and I remember Tony doing the interview saying, "Yeah, I think I am, but we'll see." Yeah, we saw.
Man,
we saw, because I saw the game, and the way that he fell down and grabbed his shoulder, I'm like, man, he's not ready.
He didn't broke his clavicle twice, and he's back.
Yeah.
Tony has some injuries, man, that just most people will retire.
Just like Troy Aikman did.
Yeah.
2 concussions on him. I was like, Troy.
Michael Irvin with his neck.
Yeah. Troy retired, man.
Right.
So, yeah. So Tony, memo to Tony Romo, retirement, bro. Because if you come back and get one good hit on
one good hit is gonna end his career.
That's it. That's it.
His career.
So
I'm afraid for him, but on the same hand, I want to win. I can't stand the Washington Redskins, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the New York Giants. I can't stand them. As long as we beat them, I'm a happy camper.
You think they're gonna go to the Super Bowl? If just hypothetical.
Yeah.
Say he doesn't come back, and then put Dak Prescott in.
Dak in there.
Do you think he can take him?
No, I don't. And the only reason I'm saying that is because he's young, and this pressure will get to him. It will eventually get to him. I'm waiting to see, and here's what I'm hoping. I'm waiting to see the other Tyler Smith come back because it's hurt right now.
Mm-hmm.
And come back on that line. I'm waiting for the rest of the defense to get off suspension. Since they can't stop smoking weed and crap, waiting for them to get off, because our defensive line is back to basically second and third string people.
Wow.
Because everybody's suspended. Oh man, Lawrence suspended for weed. I mean, we got four defensive linemen that starts.
That starters.
Can't come back to the 10th game.
Wow.
So our defense is just put together with a Band-Aid right now. Because think about it. We only have about 2 or 3 sacks. That's it. If we got 3. Because we don't have the pass rushers. So when you don't have the pass rushers, you put pressure on those 2 quarterbacks. That quarterback can't hold somebody that long. That's the whole point of having good pass rushers. To make the guy scramble, get the ball out early, you intercept the ball.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So cornerbacks, man, the cornerback job is the hardest to me. Because you got to stick with a wide receiver that's 9 times out of 10 faster than you.
Okay.
9 times out of 10 faster than you. And you can only stick with him so long. That's why we have safeties. Because without safeties, they can go over the top on you all day. Every ball would be a bomb. Without safety, every ball would be a bomb. So the quarterback is trying to get the safety to drift one way or the other by looking him off, trying to get him to drift so he can throw to that person or drift and throw to that person.
Meaning for them more aerial attacks.
Correct.
Than running and gunning.
Yeah.
Run and shoot is what he doing.
Yeah. So my thing is, if the defense plays a West Coast defense, then I'm good.
Speaking of football, and I know that we're not fans. I know we're not fans of the New England Patriots. What do you think of Tom Brady coming back? You think it's old news?
Yeah, I don't think that they should have had that much talk in the first place. I mean, the man did something wrong. He spent his 4 games, get it over with, let's go. Tom Brady's a great quarterback, dude. Yeah. He is. He is a great quarterback, man, and I wish him all the luck, but not against Dallas. That's it. I just wish him all the luck, but not against Dallas.
Yeah, you know what? Too bad. The Saints and the Cowboys are not on each other's schedule, man.
Because actually, man, I love Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe, I have him on my fantasy team. I love Drew Bledsoe, and I always have him.
Hold on. You mean Drew Brees, right?
Drew Brees. I have had him on my fantasy team for the last 3 years. In the last 3 years, he has not disappointed me. The man will air out the ball. And that's what I like. I don't want y'all to have a running game. I want you to air the ball out. I don't want you to have a running. I want him to air it out, man, because that's what he does, and that's what he's good at. But he technically has pigeonholed your team. With the money that they gave him, you can't go out and get nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he definitely put the team on hostage. So that's another reason why I want him to just throw the ball. Throw it to Cook all day.
Yep. Brandon Cooks.
I'm good with that. Brandon Cooks is fast enough to get past a cornerback. Throw it to Cooks all day, and I could care less.
And I don't know why we got rid of C.J. Spiller. I don't care, but we got Brandon Cooks in.
Yeah.
And with Keenan Lewis coming back in,
It's turning into a sports talk.
A little bit. A little bit. You know, Cowboys, and he knows I'm a Saints fan. And,
Yeah.
And I know he'd be looking at me now talking about, why in the hell you got that?
Oh, man. Yeah, no. I get it all the time. I got a lot of friends as Saints fans, and some of us had standing bets. We didn't get the bet this year, but some of us had standing bets. I have.
I know I did. I mean, I got people at work. Where's my $20 at? Man, you gonna get it.
We bigger bets. We got we dinners at Perry's and stuff like that. So.
Oh, okay.
We got standing bets.
I
I have paid a couple of them, but they have paid a couple of them. So when I tell them it's my turn, we go to like Ocean Prime or Del Frisco's or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well,
okay.
I get in their pocket.
I gotta get to Applebee's status.
No. I get in their pocket.
I gotta get in the chili status or something, right?
I get in their pocket, man. So yeah, we 5-star. So I'll make sure when that bill comes, it's got some zeros behind it.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
Somebody's tipping out tonight.
Yep. So that's how it works. That's how it works. Yeah.
What was that?
I'm sorry, my phone, man. I'm sorry. I should have had. Yeah, y'all. I'm sorry, man. It should have been on silent the whole time.
Oh, okay.
My bad. I'm sorry.
I'm thinking the chicken in here.
Yeah.
Well, wow. Once again, it's been an honor to have us come to your home to talk to you.
Appreciate it.
Another legend.
Thank you.
And again, big shout to Snake and Nemesis for getting there. Hip hop honors.
I called him. I called him. I shot him a message.
And I was supposed to go that night, but I ended up getting out.
It was my birthday weekend, and I was out of town, and my birthday was October 3rd. So that's the reason why I didn't go. I went out of town, but I was planning on going. I was going to surprise him. And we did this big thing that I do every year on my birthday, and I was like, oh my God, the honor awards is on Friday, and I'm gone on Friday. I was like, God, that's why I never told him I was coming. I was going to surprise him.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to go, and so, man, I typed him and told him congratulations, man, and it's well deserved.
Yeah, it is.
It's well deserved. I hate I missed it.
Yeah. Me too. And like I said, at the top of the show, I interviewed him a year ago. And told him that you were the first that I listened to, and then it was him, because I didn't know who Nemesis was until a friend of mine. I don't know if he's still around. His name is LOS.
Oh,
and I think LOS.
Yeah.
And his DJ Seeski gave me. He had like 3 copies, so he gave me a copy of Nemesis to listen to. I was like, man, and forever hooked. Cause my jam to this day still on there is Last Night. with that SP 1200 bass line on it.
Back in the day, man, we was rivals, so I didn't play their music. And they knew we was the rival radio station, so I didn't play
okay. I forgot about that.
Yeah, me and we even in Fever Fresh crew did a song and said something reference to their song, that it ain't crap, but it was just Snake. It was just we just doing it back and forth. It helped them. I don't know if they ever admit it, but us doing that about their record helped them. They helped us. It's the same. I mean, it's all love. It's competition. That's all it's ever been for me. It's never no more than that. Nothing ever became physical with anybody. We never ever had that type of relationship. Everything was about that radio and how much people you can get to listen to you. So the other person was a rival. It was a competitor. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was about. But you had to give them guys their props. They got on a profile and they did their thing.
Yeah,
gotta give them their props.
The first known record label for a Dallas.
Yeah, they got national record.
National.
Yeah, national. They was on profile, which was national. They was on there with Run DMC and everybody else. I mean, that's what they label mates.
Yeah, but
You know,
Rob Bass and Dan Dane.
Yeah. So they did well. I mean, to get signed for Profile, they did well. I mean, we were on, my label. Then we went on McCullough and then Compton, which was Easy's label. So it was pretty cool. Those days were really fun, man. I had a ball, man, competing against those guys, man, and I respected them, and especially like Azim. Me and Azim was friends.
Yeah.
We actually were friends, and I liked him. So we got along. We got along pretty good.
Yeah, and I used to listen to them too. All Hardy Death Party.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I used to. Casanova Rock was my boy, though. He never admitted it. He was my boy. Casanova Rock was all right with me. He really was. I didn't care. Even when we had the little rival thing going against some Casanova Rock, man, I thought that dude. I said, man, can I cuss?
yeah, go ahead.
Casanova Rock, you pretty motherfucker. Because I saw him one time in the store, and I said, damn, man, you know what, you pretty. And then they said, Jerry, man, forget you. So, man, those are fun times, man. And I'm sure Snake would tell you the same thing, man. We enjoyed what we did. We enjoyed it. It was not a job. Even though we got paid for it, it was not a job, man. I did making my own flyers and going out and passing them out for a party, because I would do parties on Friday, live on radio on Saturday. So my weekend, I promise you, this is my life. My weekend was making somewhere close to $12,000 to $9,000 a week. And then I would get on a plane on Monday and not come back till Friday and do it all over again.
Oh, cool. So you would commute
until I did out of college.
You would commute during the week, then when Friday come around, you would get back in.
When I graduated from college, when Monday came around, me and my friends got on a plane and hit Jamaica or Cancun or St. Martin. We would go to places. We'd go to Miami. Matter of fact, Earthquake, DJ Earthquake.
Yeah.
The first time I bought my brand new BMW, I bought it off the showroom floor. We drove it over to the place where they put the kit on it, and they put the kit, painted all the bump, the kit, and put me some brand new rims on it, lowered it, and they didn't have 20 miles on it. Me and Earthquake jumped in the car and drove to Cali. And we was gonna see how fast we could get to Cali in that car. We got there in 15 hours.
And what car was it?
My BMW, my 325i.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we got there in 15 hours, driving 120 miles an hour the whole way.
It's non-stop?
Non-stop, 15 hours. We got there, and we put up in front of my mama's house in 15 hours and 10 minutes. We clocked it.
Wow.
We wanted to see how fast we can get there.
Okay.
So one time we stopped to get some gas and grab something to eat, and we did it in a hurry because we was timing it. We trying to see how, and we slowed down in Arizona because the plane came over us, and then the guy was about to pull us over, but instead of pull us over, he stood next to us and said, like, slow down. So we slowed down in Arizona because we got the desert. I opened it up. We was at 140, 150 in the desert.
Wow.
And he made me slow it down.
Oh, okay.
He didn't pull me over. He just said, slow down. I said, oh, okay, it's a brand new car. We were breaking it in, basically.
Broke it in.
Breaking it in. So, yeah. So, yeah, it's all good, though.
If you had the chance to do it, if someone came up and asked you to do a party, would you do it?
They do. Most of the time I say no.
Would you do you tell them why?
Yeah, my line is, at the end of my name right now, the word legend is there. I don't want to diminish that. Because I'm not the DJ I was back then. Like I said before, I can still do it, but I'm not the DJ I was. That was a person that practiced 4 hours a day. Now, if you want to go play me some golf, let's go.
Oh.
Yeah, we can go.
Shout out.
I can beat everybody, but I'll beat the majority.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there wants to challenge Mr. Turner at golf, sign up them clubs.
Let's go.
Sign them up.
Let's go.
Well, Mr. Turner, again, it's been great for you to have us here. Well, to have me here. It's good to see you again.
Man, really, seriously, glad you asked to do this, man.
Oh man, I've been trying to do this for ever since I got done with Snake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been trying to get you in, but you know, with your schedule and what were you doing and what I was doing.
Yeah, traveling quite a bit.
Yeah, we finally got it. We finally got it in.
Yeah.
So
even even when you did it before, you had to get something else came in. So yeah, I remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, man, let's go. It's all good, man. I'm glad you did it.
All right, man. DJ Domain,
Dr. Rock.
and you were live and direct. We out. Yo, that man right there, that's the legendary Dr. Rock.
Yo.
Me, I'm DJ Domain, and you were live and direct.
Famous.